They'll be okay.
So, I had that Popeye's chicken sandwich last week, and then all of a sudden, Chick-fil-A's backsliding. What's going on?
Like that? Like that? Wow.
Chick-fil-A.
I'm just joking.
Ryan Little.
And to the millions across the world and everyone tuning in, welcome to That's Not Christian Podcast.
Let's
go. No time.
Yo.
My intros are getting better, dude.
Yo, what is it? Fastest growing Christian podcast?
You already know.
Say something.
Yeah,
What's going on, fellas? We got Jimmy in the building. We got Ant. We got Jay. We got your boy Switch. What's goody?
What up?
What's up?
How was y'all weekend?
How many episodes is it gonna take, man?
Yo, it's
Amazing.
Every episode, all right?
It's a Monday, yo.
Sheesh.
For those listening, we record every episode on
Jay,
Monday.
I got a song to calm you down. It goes, when
Stop
the
it, we
moon
can't.
hits that's amore.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. YouTube ain't gonna let this fly, man.
Wow, man, that's all right. They good. They fine.
So
They'll be okay.
I had that Popeye's chicken sandwich last week, and then all of a sudden, Chick-fil-A's backsliding. What's going on?
Like that? Like that? Wow.
I'm just joking.
You see this dude is falling away from the faith, right? Blaspheming Chick-fil-A's name, besmirching their name in the streets. You know what I mean?
Now you gotta delete the app.
Streets. You know what I mean? So what happened, man? Why for my charismatic brothers? How did Chick-fil-A backslide, man?
So recently they had a report. They made a public announcement that they're going to stop donating to two charities, the Salvation Army and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So according to Chick-fil-A, they want to focus on giving to a smaller number of organizations that focus on education, homelessness, and hunger. That's according to Chick-fil-A. But according to the rest of the world, they saying they folding, basically. Because of the recent protests that's been happening in front of Chick-fil-A. Salvation Army and what's the other organization? I never heard of that.
Don't think about it. Athletic.
Christian Athletes.
Yeah, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. They basically have had a pretty biblical stance on homosexuality, same-sex marriage.
On the alphabet boys.
Yeah, they've been very vocal about it. And so people feel like Chick-fil-A is basically not donating to them anymore because of the recent protests.
They don't want any
according
smoke,
to the media
right?
outlets, yeah.
They don't want any smoke from the LGBT community.
So
I read a little bit about this though, man. It seems like they just want to refocus their giving to the communities that they're serving and the communities that they're in. I don't know if it's necessarily folding because they still have the same stance. They've always had the same stance, right?
yeah, but all right. So they said they want to focus on homelessness, education, and hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not the Salvation Army already?
Yeah. I mean, it is. But maybe Salvation Army ain't everywhere where they're trying to invest in. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a good question. From what I read, I know that the contracts were over, and that's why
what I was going to get into.
Right,
Yeah.
their contracts were over, so they're kind of like, all right, do we want to continue with these relationships, or should we look elsewhere? And from what I read, it looks like that they're giving back to the communities that they're moving into, wherever they open up a store, a shop, or whatever. they invest a couple $1,000s, right, to the homeless in those areas. They give out a whole bunch of food and stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope, man. I don't know if it's them folding though. You know what I mean? Like,
my thing is, why is it such a problem with how they decide how to give their money?
Right.
You know,
it's my money, bro. Do what I want.
Talk about it. Preach it.
So is that so? You know, for folks that maybe don't know, you know, everything that's going on, is it because of what they're giving, or are the protests more about their values in general?
Well, the I think the CEO, the owner, I think in 2012 he made a statement about homosexuals and same-sex marriage. He took a biblical point of view, biblical stance, and ever since then it's just been like
he's been a target.
He's been a target.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know how that works, but I guess the LGBT community has been criticizing Chick-fil-A on their stance and how they're donating money to these charities who take the same kind of stance as well. So yeah, I mean, that's just where it's at right now.
So, you know, in this case though, even people who are conservative seem to be upset that
that they folded,
that they're sort of quote unquote folding. You know, which I get. It's like the people who are more liberal, you know, they're upset because, you know, they took the stance of, you know, biblical same-sex marriages and all that stuff, and then the people who are conservative, it was like, you know, where's the balance?
Yeah, I heard that they're trying to stop doing long-term contracts and they're trying to do year-to-year contracts, and that their focus is to spread out those donations actually to, like, I guess, smaller charities to help them out,
right,
that are more focused. Because you can be Salvation Army, but you can have a general focus. Like Salvation Army does job placement, you know, all these different things.
Right.
Maybe Chick-fil-A feels like we just want to focus on hunger, and that's what this charity is for. And that's what there's, you know, focusing in on, or hunger, homelessness, you know, what was the other one? I think school, education.
Education.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe Salvation Army, it has all those, it entails all those things. But think about it. They also locking themselves into a contract, which is long-term at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I'd rather do it year to year.
How you get a contract for your giving?
Yeah,
you know, I mean, how much money they be donating? I'm curious to know.
Obviously, a lot. If you got to go into contract.
Hold up, yo, Jay, man, don't oppose people getting into contracts for giving. All right, this is a podcast. We're looking for sponsors. You know what I mean? We trying to secure the bag. You know what I mean? We handed out advertising for 40 years, y'all. 30-year advertising packages. Hit us up.
I mean, they do that in churches, right? You know, they ask people to commit to giving a certain amount for.
Yeah, but you ain't signing on a dotted line.
Right, it's not a real contract. Yeah,
this is a contract with the Lord.
Right.
I don't know which one you want to break, though.
Hey, but I think that's good stewardship on their part, man, because you want to see returns on your investments, right? So that way, if something doesn't work out, like in a year's time, you know, you don't see the homeless rate.
But what return does Chick-fil-A get for donating to Salvation Army? I didn't even know they donated to Salvation Army.
Well, according to the article, the focus was like homelessness, joblessness, and hunger, right? So if you see that there's more homeless in the streets near the Red Cross, then it's probably not Red Cross. Was it Salvation Army? Then you know what I mean. You probably want to pull back your dollars and invest in another organization that's in that community. You know, I was just thinking about Red Cross because another thing is like, how much money, because Salvation Army is so big, like how much of that money actually sees the streets and see these programs, right? Because you got organizations like the Red Cross where I think the CEO makes like $500,000, which there's nothing wrong with, you know, CEOs making money. Like that's not my issue. But if you're thinking about where your money is going, you know, and how it could be more effective, maybe that's why they they changed positions and was like, yo, we're gonna go with smaller organizations.
My question is this: I know that Salvation Army has made a stance on how they feel, but if you go to their website, they have something that's pretty much dedicated to the LBGT community. They're basically stating that, they're providing jobs, they're helping teens that are committing suicides. There's a whole article on their website about how they're all about equality and helping out the LBGT community. So it's just really interesting, man, how people see protest or what people have said, and they just kind of take that as hate or being against their beliefs or their values. So it is pretty interesting. Also, Chick-fil-A opened up in the UK. They just opened up a store, and the LBGT community started protesting. They have to shut down that store in 6 months. That's how crazy the protest has been. So these protests are really getting crazy. I don't know if you guys seen the videos, but the protests are get pretty intense on some of the in front of some of the stores.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, in UK, Christianity is not very
big.
That's not what's popping out there.
Nah, not at all. It's very, very low, every year just gets lower and lower. So I guess
I wanted to touch on what Switch said though. Switch, you said that Salvation Army said, or on their site is where it promotes the helping of suicide and LGBT and all of that.
Yeah, so basically, Salvation Army has let me see if I find it.
Before or after Chick-fil-A?
No, they haven't. They've been had when it's part of their handbook, and it says it has an entire section on the website which is devoted to the LBGT community, which details how its services and available to all people. And then if you click the link, it takes you to Salvation Army.
Yeah, bro, it's like the second option on their site.
Yeah, and then it goes, all people are deserving of Christ's love, regardless of race, gender, and ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity. And then there's a whole list of things that they do to help out with homeless shelters, help with substance abuse, job training, food insecurity, teenage suicide. They have testimonies on YouTube.
So it's cap.
Exactly. That's what I was getting to. That's exactly what I was getting to. So, in that case, what was the point of this whole protest? So that's what I'm saying. Are they protesting?
Give him the camera. You mad?
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what do you really like? What are y'all really protesting, yo?
Yeah, Christians mad for no reason, man. They just mad to be mad.
Come on,
yo.
Man.
Why you stop giving the Salvation Army?
But not only that, right? Okay. So then, but why? So did they fold though? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's like
it's not. It's not folding. If Salvation, if the reason people are saying that they stopped giving to Salvation Army was because of the pushback from the LGBT community, and Salvation Army is like, yo, like, we're not tripping if you're gay. We'll help you, right? Then the motive for them not to be donating to Salvation Army is incorrect, right? Because they haven't changed their stance. They haven't sent out a press release like, yo, the CEO no longer changed. You know, he changed his view on same-sex marriage, right, or any of that. You know, like, it's cap, man. It's fake news. This dude over here eating Chick-fil-A on the podcast.
Hey,
tell me the bag.
Hey, and to answer your question, so recently, Franklin Graham, if y'all don't know who that is, that's Billy Graham's son. You know what I mean? Y'all remember Billy Graham, right? Late great evangelist. Course, yeah. He said he actually spoke to the CEO from Chick-fil-A, and that the CEO affirmed him that he has not changed his beliefs or his stance on homosexuality or same-sex marriages. Okay. So that was according to Franklin Graham. He posted that I guess either on Twitter or Facebook.
Okay.
He made comments. Chick-fil-A has not changed who they are or what they believe. Ooh.
All right, so then it's a timing thing then. So it's just the contracts and and they still gonna get protests regardless. I just feel like because I saw an article, right, where it said the LGBTQ, and I really don't like saying it. I always get tongue tied with that LGBT, whatever. But
that's that big pun flow.
Right. Dead in the middle. Right. Well, anyway, I got off track. But it's bugged that it seems like they're gonna do their thing anyway. They're gonna protest regardless. But I saw the article where it said this is a win for them. You know what I'm saying? So like they're celebrating like they did something here. So if it's a contract thing and and it's just
wait, who won? LGBT?
Timing, yeah, they said this is a win for them right now.
Yeah, somebody tweeted that. Said
but they just lost money.
Right.
So what?
Because they feel like they're promoting that. They feel like that Chick-fil-A folded in favor of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they're pushing it out there.
They feel like Chick-fil-A chickened out. Hey, this is my whole thing, right? And I've been seeing a lot of people, I guess the hardcore Christians, you know what I'm saying? They're out there on some Chick-fil-A's, turn their back. I didn't like Chick-fil-A that much. Or da. Now, I just want to challenge everybody who's judging Chick-fil-A. Are you donating to any kind of organization?
Right.
That's
what you spending your money on, right? You watching Chick-fil-A's pockets. What are you spending your money on? Right.
And I was talking to my brother Lester. He was telling me he was brought up a good point. He's like, we're so focused on what Chick-fil-A is doing. What are you doing in your own life? How are you donating? All right. So you feel like Salvation Army is a great organization and it has all these charities, then donate to them. Start donating to them and fill in the gap for Chick-fil-A.
Right. Start buying your winter gear there and stop shopping at Macy's and Bloomingdale's.
Well, I'll be in Salvation Army too, you know what I mean? But that's another story, you know what I mean?
Oh, boy,
eBay life.
Nah, scratch that out. But, I mean,
I see that grow the heck up hat, man.
Oh, you like that? I
see that, man.
That's a little cross promotion right there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just, these streets, you know what I mean? It's a jungle out there.
You outside, huh?
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, so I guess this Chick-fil-A thing, man, it's going to be ongoing to me. I think so. They ain't going to, if they feel like they won or they didn't, they're going to keep coming at them until they feel like they get their way.
So my question is, all right, if Chick-fil-A did say, let's just say that their motive or their intention, right, even though they're really very vague, if their intention was, listen, we're getting protests in our businesses are having issues, we need to withdraw from this, is that a problem for us as saints? Is that going to be a problem? Like, let's say if you say, this is my business and the protests are really affecting our business, our way of doing business. Mm-hmm. We should probably reevaluate how we're gonna do business or donate or whatever it may be. Would that be them folding, or is that just them taking care of their business?
I mean, bro, like the thing is that their position hasn't changed. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's like really what I've been focusing on is like, nothing has come out. Like, well, to begin with, like initially when people first were boycotting, right, which was like what, 7 years ago. Whenever that boycott was, that was the first time I actually tried Chick-fil-A because I was like, "What's the big deal?" You know what I mean? I had never tried Chick-fil-A before.
It wasn't even a boycott.
It wasn't a boycott. I thought it was a boycott.
Nothing really happened. Like,
right, nothing happened. Right,
they had more sales than anything else.
Right. Because people like me who had never tried it before, I was like, "What's the big deal? Let me go try one of these sandwiches." And then I was like, "Ooh, these sandwiches are anointed." You know what I mean? And that's when I, you know what I mean? That's when I first tried it. And I don't know, man, maybe it's a publicity stunt just to get more people to support Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Because the Popeye sandwich is getting all this traction on Instagram. You know what I mean? They got to do something.
Listen, That's Not Christian is the fastest Christian podcast.
Hey,
Chick-fil-A is the fastest growing fast food restaurant.
Well, that is true, right? Like
that is true. It is true.
It's growing. Our podcast, that's cap, but soon.
No, it's not.
What you mean,
No, it's
Cap?
not.
No, it's not.
No,
Cap.
I looked at the numbers. Man. We growing, baby.
Y'all haven't heard of that Hope and Human, man.
Yo, shout out to Chris, man.
Yo, for real. But yeah, man. So I just wanted to ask that question because you know what? In my opinion, there's been times that Christ was very vague about his motives and his decisions. And there were people questioning him about, what do you mean? Or what is this? Or, what does that mean? And he took a very vague approach. He didn't answer their questions directly at times. So, I feel like Chick-fil-A is entitled to be vague if they want to be vague. If, they don't have to display their motives all the time. They don't have to say, hey, we're doing this for this. We're doing this for that. Listen, this is my business and this is how I want to operate it. You know what I mean?
And this is my money.
Right.
Exactly. Does that make them less Christian or less of a godly establishment? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think there's a problem with it.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's not Jesus chicken either. You know what I mean?
Jesus chicken.
Jesus.
Yeah, like we setting these standards on them. You know what I mean? Like that we don't hold ourselves, right? Is what if you have your own business or even your job, like you work for some ratchet managers and supervisors and you know what I mean?
Bring it out, brother. Preach it, brother.
Hey, I'm just saying, man.
Shut up.
Hey, keep it going.
What about when we go out to eat? Do we say, oh wait, is this a Christian establishment? Does this establishment donate to Christian charities or not?
Right.
Or do we just go out and eat and say, yo, I'm ready to turn up and eat? You know what I'm saying?
This food is banging. Take my money.
Right.
Or do we say, no, we can't eat there because they donate to the LBGT community?
Hey, who went to the Louis store asking all them questions? All right.
I don't know, brother.
I don't visit those stores, unfortunately.
Yeah, man.
Who goes up to Nike? You know what I mean? And every time Jordan releases a retro, you know what I mean, a retro shoe, ain't nobody asking Nike those questions.
Who goes to Tesla?
Come on.
Cops that do Cybertruck.
All right.
I heard Jay put a down payment on that joint.
Yo, it's only $100, but no.
Refundable.
$100 down payment?
Wait, no way.
No, to reserve. To reserve.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
mean,
So what does it mean to reserve it? Like you.
So it's not available now. It'll be available according to Elon, which really means probably not going to happen. Is 2021.
Okay.
So what the reservation is that, okay, when they start shipping, then according to when you fall in line and you reserve, you'll start getting your car as soon as, you get, work out all the paperwork or whatever that you're actually going to buy it.
So this is like a Supreme drop, right? You're just buying your place in line. Is that what it is?
Pretty much, yeah. You can say so.
What kind of truck is this, Jay? Because you the Mr. Tesla man.
So it's something that you've never seen before, which is exactly what Elon, who's the CEO, wanted to make, because he said that, in his unveiling, trucks haven't changed in over 100 years. They all look practically the same.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So he came out with like this sci-fi like thing, and
that joint looked like an armadillo.
Right? People was like, "Oh, it looks like what's that Pokemon Polygon, something like that."
Yeah, I don't know about no Pokemon.
But he said he was influenced by like 2 movies, right?
Yeah, he was influenced by a movie, Back to the Future, because of the DeLorean.
Mm-hmm. All right,
and then I forgot what the other. Oh, Blade Runner.
yeah,
Blade
Runner,
Runner.
Blade.
Yeah.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But that thing is like bulletproof, even though in their
It's
No,
not a truck
demonstration,
though. Like,
You know,
how do you put bales of hay in the back?
You didn't see
No, it
that? It's
has
a
a bed.
pickup. It has a bed. It's just covered.
it opens
Yeah.
up.
Oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
that. Okay.
What's crazy though, he said that he's gonna put well, it's gonna be an option to put solar panels on there, and it'll charge the car as you're driving and stuff like that.
Yo, this
Because
dude.
obviously
Unless
Tesla's
you
all battery powered.
Unless you live in Alaska, right?
You know what that joint
Dude.
remind me of? Like Mad Max.
Right.
Right.
It looks
Those-
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So
a
how-
beast.
But it's bulletproof, right?
I mean, that's
but
what
it-
he says. Bulletproof.
Supposedly.
It doesn't stop metal balls, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. So he came out. He came out with a tweet. He's like, well, somebody came out with a tweet. They said that because they hit it with the sledgehammer on the doors, and obviously nothing happened. They think that cracked the window, like small cracks, and then when they hit the ball, then obviously it cracked it even more.
But I mean, then
But but
I
doesn't explain why the other window cracked
Right.
because they didn't hit that one with the sledgehammer on the
Right.
doors.
So wait, because everybody that's probably listening doesn't know. So just give them a background on what happened, what was going on.
So when they unveiled the truck, and it comes out, one of the things was that the metal that it's made of is the same metal that they're using for their ship that's
vibranium.
going to like
That's what
Mars.
it is.
What is it?
Vibranium.
That Wakanda.
Yeah,
You understand how
kinda.
Wakanda?
Yeah, so they said it was like bulletproof and like, no damage, whatever. So to demonstrate that, they had the lead design guy come out with a sledgehammer and hit a regular F-150 door, which obviously you're going to get a dent,
Right.
and then hit the Cybertruck, which obviously nothing happened to it. So then Elon goes, okay, this is also bulletproof. The windows are made of some special glass that they made. And then they had other demonstration where they dropped the steel balls onto like the glass itself, like through these like tubes, and nothing happened to the glass.
Nice.
But then when they decided to throw it to the Cybertruck, the glass breaks.
And
And then you hear Elon, curse out like under his breath. And
of course.
yeah, he
and
looked
then
thrown
he's like-
off by that. He was looking
He
at
was
the
thrown
vehicle like,
yeah.
no, did this
And then
not
the
just
dude-
happen?
Yeah, he was
Your
tight.
man,
And then
your
the
man
dude
was
Fonz,
fired.
the dude Fonz, he's like, oh, let's hit the other window. And he's like, are you sure? And then he goes and throws it, and it cracks too. And then he's like, and then Elon comes up and he looks at everybody. He's like, there's room for improvement.
Somebody
course. What
definitely
could
was
you do?
unemployed. Somebody definitely was unemployed that day.
See, that's concerning to me, man, because if
So,
if you're
and then
if you-
now that you say that,
Yeah.
so they said that they were testing it out the whole time. So they threw supposedly like a hand. What is that thing where you wash your hands in the bathroom? What is that thing called? Hand wash?
sanitizer? Hand sanitizer?
No, not hand. Not hand. Why would you throw hand sanitizer?
Oh, I'm sorry.
maybe he meant the
I
dispenser.
didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear
No,
what
the
you said.
dispenser, whatever. They were throwing mad random stuff to the
Yeah.
window, and it wasn't breaking. And Elon even had the video of the behind the scenes.
Listen,
Yeah.
you got to bring that joint to the Bronx, man. That's the only way you can test that joint, all right? Bring that truck to the Bronx.
During Black
Let
Friday.
let the hood deal with it. If it survives the hood, it's a good truck. That's it.
Right.
Word. Word. See how that goes.
He come
yeah.
back, no wheels.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That joint be jacked up on the side of the road.
All right. Cinder blocks.
Well, I feel like every movie I used to watch as a kid is just unfolding before our eyes.
Right? Hey, that's
It's
what
like
it
the
is.
Jetsons, and like it's just happening right before our eyes, man.
You could talk to people live, on your phone. You know what I mean? Just call someone
Yo.
up and you see the video chat, and that's wild. That's from Back to the Future.
In
It's
a
like
minute, we're gonna have be the holograms in the room.
Right. Teleporting, right?
Yeah, we're gonna be all
like the
sitting in the room.
Jetsons.
Right.
Facts.
Doing all
It's
of
like
it.
it's like the human imagination, man. It's incredible, man.
Yeah, you know what
that's
though?
blessings.
I remember, like, we thought we was gonna be way more advanced in the year 2000, right? Like that just seemed like it was so far away, and we'd be flying cars by now.
Y2K, remember that?
Yeah.
And then the computers was going to shut down.
Right.
Everybody was panicking.
Right. Everybody was pulling out their money from the bank. You know what I
Right.
mean?
We about to be broke. The TVs ain't gonna work.
Right.
People was losing it. You know? Now look where we at now.
Facts.
People throwing metal balls at trucks.
Electric trucks with solar panels.
Yo, but that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
What else y'all
Thank
got
you,
into? Y'all been
everybody.
good?
What?
I said, what up? Y'all been good?
Yo, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the reviews, all the DMs. Thank you for the support.
Word.
Appreciate everyone.
Remember, we have a special right now. Amazon gift cards going out. Anybody who leaves a review.
He's lying.
It's the lie. It's lies.
Hey, at the rate
That's
that we
not
going,
Christian.
with the reviews, we can. I could afford to donate some gift cards. Man.
Hey, well, hit them switch for them cards,
Right,
man.
I was
Don't
gonna
hit. That's not Christian.
DM
Podcast
switch
IG.
directly.
Right.
Hey, you about that life at me, all right?
Hit switch up. He apparently he's got some sort of deal with the Salvation Army. You know what I mean? It's sponsoring him.
Contract. And we don't fold over here, you heard?
So go ahead and add your items to cart and then reach out to Switch for the gift card information.
All right.
God bless y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Ryan Little.